Are you looking to start landing more high-end projects for your landscaping business? Projects that range from $25,000 all the way up to $100,000 or more? Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down my 7 steps to start landing more high-end and more valuable landscaping or outdoor living projects. So if you wait until the very end of this video, you're going to have an exact blueprint to start doing so. What's going on, you guys? This is Matt Thibeau here with Savant Marketing Agency. And many times when we're working with landscaping clients, the conversation will come up about, hey, how do I start landing more high-end landscaping projects? And this is typically the process that we'll take our clients through to start landing higher-end projects, better quality leads, and start scaling up their company by increasing the average order value, which is the ticket price of the job. Now, before we dive into some of these strategies here, I want to mention 3 things that I'm kind of assuming and that are a little bit of like disclaimers going into this video. Number 1 is to ask yourself, do you actually want to go down the road of pursuing this model? Because it is an entirely different business model than doing smaller jobs that are $10,000 or less. And so what I would recommend for you before maybe pursuing going after higher ticket jobs is to do a little bit of research and see for yourself, is this actually the type of business that I want to build? Because although it is a great model and fantastic model, it is a very different model than running a smaller maintenance oriented or smaller project type business. The second thing to consider is that this process is going to take time and money and resources. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is going to take significant investment on your part to start building up the positioning for your business to start attracting these types of projects. So understand that as well. And number 3 is also just to recognize and have awareness. Are you actually ready to start pursuing and commanding this level of fee for your projects, right? You need to be at a certain level in business to be able to do these types of projects. So I'm assuming that your work is quality and that you have fantastic operations before we dive into any of this. So the first thing that is important if you're going to start pursuing high-end projects, $25,000 to $100,000 or more, is going to be the name of your business. Now, this is very underrated, but it does make a big difference, and we work with clients through this all the time. So for example, if the name of your business is called something like Example Contracting or Example Lawn and Maintenance, right? These types of business names are going to typically signal to prospects and buyers that you are doing smaller jobs or you're doing lower ticket work, right? And these types of clients that are going to be looking for someone to hire to do a 6-figure backyard makeover or oasis, they're typically going to be looking for a business that can signal that they have high-end project capability. And it starts with the name, to be honest with you. So I would recommend to look at your business name and do a little bit of an audit and to seriously consider if it does sound like a high-end business name. Some words that typically are associated with being more high-end or doing these bigger projects is going to be design and build, or saying the word like outdoor living in it, etc. You should also have a very niche sounding name. So you don't want to use a more generic name like Example Contracting or Example Construction. Those are okay, but I would definitely recommend to use a more niche sounding name in your business. That is going to make a big difference in terms of what's called your positioning in the market, because if your name sounds similar to all of these lower ticket companies that are doing grass cutting or something else like that, it's going to be very difficult for you to build off of that. So number 1 is getting the name right. Number 2 is getting the messaging for your business right. A lot of landscapers, when they're trying to start attracting higher end jobs, they forget that these types of prospects are going to be looking at your online marketing. And if the messaging of what you're saying and then the quote that you present them with doesn't match up, they're never going to move forward with you and they probably won't reach out to you to begin with. And so it's really important that the messaging is congruent with this type of work. And it starts with focusing more on selling outcomes instead of selling the service. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically, a lot of landscapers that are doing lower end type of work, they'll be talking about what it is they're doing. So, hey, we're going to install some pavers for you. We're going to do some walkways, or we're going to install a pool, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas the businesses that are selling higher end projects, they're selling a transformation. They're selling a vision to the prospect. And so you'll notice that all of their messaging is always going to be talking not about the actual service itself, but the outcome and what they're going to get from investing in that service. So some examples would be like, enjoy your backyard living space, spend time with the kids and family, entertain and have a beautiful backyard where people can relax, extend your living space, all of these kind of like narratives. And the purpose of this is because nobody's buying $100,000 backyard transformation on logic alone. It's a very emotional decision. And so a lot of your messaging and your marketing does need to shift from being about the service to being about the outcome and what they're going to get on the other side of investing in something like this. The other thing to consider is to remove all mentions of affordability, price, discounts in all of your online marketing. So if you mention anything about affordability or you're putting out like coupon offers or any of these things, that is going to be a red flag to anybody who is looking to invest in a higher end landscaper that like, hey, this is not the type of company that I want to work with. So you want to remove anything that's going to mention price or affordability or anything like that. That is going to be a red flag to someone who's looking to invest in a quality service. The last thing that you want to consider when it comes to messaging is the offers that you're putting out there to the marketplace. Just because you're high end and you're going after high end positioning in the marketplace doesn't mean that you can't make any cool marketing offers. And when I say offers, a lot of people associate that with like price discounts and such. But because we're going after a higher end market, we're also going to have higher end offers that are going to appeal to that market. So 2 offers right off the bat that are going to help you to attract that type of clientele is number 1, doing a design consultation. We personally recommend to give these away for free included with the project. And I would value it at something higher end where it's like maybe $1,500 value or more. And you say, hey, this is included for free with the project. And we're going to dive into everything. It could be a 3D rendering. It could be whatever you want it to be. But doing a free design consultation is definitely going to attract a higher caliber, more sophisticated type of prospect because the job is actually going to warrant having a design, which indicates that it's not going to be small and it's going to be more intricate, right? The other type of offer that you can do is really leaning on an incredible warranty. So you can say, hey, everyone who works with us, they get X amount of years of labor warranty, you're covered. We have this super awesome guarantee where if anything ever goes wrong, we're going to be right there to help you out. People who are investing in a big project like that, they want to know that they're covered and that, if anything ever goes wrong, then you're going to be there to help them out. So really leaning on measurable quality, I call it, where you're putting a guarantee or a number of years of warranty on the specific work, that's going to help you out a lot. So moving on from messaging, let's talk about something I call branding assets. Now, this is extremely important and, it might seem a little bit like fake it till you make it, but having really great branding does make a difference. And I've seen this happen for clients and also for our agency when I started to invest a little bit more in branding as well. And so the first place that I would start for your brand is taking a really honest look at your logo. I would definitely recommend to compare it to some higher end brands that are in your local market and just ask yourself like, hey, is this in alignment with this type of look and feel that I'm going for the high end market? Some things to consider when you're looking at logos as well is, does this logo look good, big and small? Because a lot of times people will more so just create something like a graphic and not an actual logo, right? So, something to consider for sure, because as you are growing your business, you're going to want that logo to look good, very small on like a shirt or on merchandise, but you also want it to look good big when it's blown up and put on a truck or something like that. The next thing too, to take a really serious look at and to invest in is going to be your website. Your website should be fast loading. It should look very clean and professional, and it should not look like a template or a free Wix website or anything like that. You want to look like you've invested in your website. This means having plenty of great content on there, lots of original pictures and video. You don't want any stock footage on there. Honestly, I wouldn't use any AI content as well on there. Very minimal if you do. And I would invest in like a real photographer or videographer to take some high-end visuals for the website. That's really going to help you stand out. This is going to be the central hub of your entire online marketing presence. And so when people visit your site, it does need to convey the messaging that we were just talking about, but also convey that like you've put some money and time into this website and it's something that is going to reflect your quality of work, right? Something else to consider too is having really consistent colors and overall vibe of your brand across the internet. So I would do an audit and just look like, do you have an old logo on this website where it's not on this one? Or is your branding inconsistent at all? You know, maybe you were using some colors and you switched it up. Get really consistent with the branding. I would recommend for the colors to actually create like a color brand guide where you have the specific code of the color that you can use on all your merch and everything that you're using. And that brings us to talking about merch and wrap trucks and such. I would definitely recommend to get some hats and shirts made once you have your logo and everything dialed in, and give that to your team members. This is going to really convey that professional high-end look. And if you could afford it, I would definitely wrap a truck or two. This is going to help you when you're showing up for those estimates. You're looking professional, you have a hat, professional shirt, maybe a polo shirt with your logo on it, clipboard, and you have a wrap truck. You're looking like a very professional service provider. And this is going to help you a lot when you're trying to land those deals, but also if people are seeing your trucks around and stuff, your crew working, it's going to be a signal to them that you're a higher end brand. Now, number 4 is, this brings us to something I call proof assets. So up until this point now, you are looking professional, you're talking to the right clientele, but you are also going to need to actually back up a lot of these claims, because right now you're signaling that, hey, we're a high-end brand. And a lot of landscapers will just stop there. But that's not going to be convincing enough for the type of prospects that we're going to want to attract. And this is where we're going to have to put in the real work to actually get some proof together to show that, hey, we actually know what we're doing. So number 1 is you want to get a portfolio together of pictures and videos that are going to reflect the type of jobs that you want to attract more of. So on your website and all your marketing, you should be showing pictures and videos of the type of jobs that you are actually looking to attract. Now, when I say this, a lot of landscapers will say, well, Matt, it's like the chicken and the egg. I don't have those types of projects right now, so how am I able to show them to attract them? And you got to do what you got to do. So sometimes, you know, you're presented with an opportunity where maybe it's the type of project you're looking for that's really going to build up your portfolio, but maybe you're going to have to give that homeowner a bit of a deal to land that job. Or whatever it is. Maybe you're going to have to do it on your own backyard, you know, to be able to invest a little bit of money into the materials and the labor to be able to do it to your backyard so you can turn that into your portfolio to show that, hey, I know what I'm doing. So having a real portfolio of the type of work is super, super important, because no one's going to believe you if you're just saying, hey, we do high-end stuff. They want to see it. The other thing too is having really great reviews. When a homeowner is investing 6 figures into a backyard project or whatever they're investing, they want to know that they're working with the best company. And one of the easiest ways to prove that is by having a lot of really great reviews. So I would recommend to take your Google business reviews extremely seriously and start asking your clients for reviews. And I would start asking clients for these higher end projects to post a picture of the job with a review in the review that they leave. So then other people who are researching you can actually see the pictures and the reviews, and it's like, hey, this is exactly what we're looking for. So based off of this review, I know that he can do it for me as well, right? So that is going to help you out a ton. Now adding garnish to the plate here, you want to start taking pictures and videos of like you at trade shows. You want to start potentially trying to get on the news if you can. This is what I call mainstream proof, where you're showing like, hey, we went to a trade show. People know that that costs money, like $5,000 or $10,000 at least to get a booth and set it all up. So showing proof that you have visibility at a trade show, or let's say that you contact your local news network and you do like a food drive or something as a company to give back to the community. Just being on the news like that is going to increase proof of your authority, right? So all of these little things are just stacking up. And eventually people are going to be like, well, he looks like a duck, he walks like a duck, he quacks like a duck, he's a duck. You know what I'm saying? Now, once you have all that proof in place, something else to consider is the price congruency. Now, what I mean by this is that if you're going to try and land higher end jobs, you need to make sure that you're not seriously underbidding a whole lot of other guys who've been in this like kind of industry for a long time and they know how to price things properly. So if you're coming from doing lower end work and you're trying to start inching up what you're charging, I would definitely do some research and get some quotes of like, what are the high end companies in my area actually charging for something like this? Because the last thing you would want to happen is for a homeowner to get 3 quotes from 2 high-end companies and you're trying to kind of put your foot in the door there and you come in like way less. It is going to be a bit of a red flag for them. So you don't want to come in super high when you shouldn't be, or come in super low. You want to be just right. So making sure that your prices are actually congruent with everything else that they're getting in the industry, this is going to help you a lot with building your credibility. It's going to be more believable for them. You don't want to scare these types of prospects away. So the next thing that I want to mention too is starting to build up educational content. This is going to be huge for you if you're trying to start landing higher end projects. The landscaper that is out there educating the public about what this type of stuff costs, how to do this, like what type of work is involved in it, how it works, what the process looks like. If you could do a couple blogs on your website, answering any FAQs, that is going to be super, super valuable because it's going to position you as being the educator, as being the authority in the marketplace when many other landscapers aren't taking the time to do that. And then lastly is just omnipresence of your marketing. You're going to want to be marketing everywhere because if you're doing everything that I talked about here, and then you're also on Facebook ads, you're on Google ads, you're popping up on Google Organic, you have a great social media presence. They're seeing you at the trade shows. They're seeing your truck on the road. They're seeing your yard sign everywhere. This is what is really going to start jacking up the demand for what it is that you do. And now you can start charging more because you have a lot more leads coming through. You can kind of cherry pick the type of jobs that you want. So having omnipresence in your marketing is going to help your lead flow, but also it's going to jack up the demand of everyone in your local area. And they're going to be like, I see this company everywhere. They must be good. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, give it a subscribe. If you have any questions about this kind of stuff, comment below. I'd be happy to answer. And if you're looking to hire an expert marketing team to help your landscaping company start attracting the type of jobs that you want to start scaling up your business, you want to start getting better leads and more qualified leads, then my link is in the description below. You can book a call with my team. We'd be happy to speak with you. All right, guys, I'll see you on my next video.